You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? All right, we got a request I don't have the answer to. Hey Cap, I'm writing you this email in response to a recent video you made. I'm in a dilemma because between choosing living life in the United States and accepting a lonely life or okay. I'm writing you this email in response to a recent video you made. I'm in a dilemma choosing living life in the USA and accepting a lonely life or pursuing a relationship in Eastern Europe, Russia, or Poland but giving up everything here. I'm 26 and want to get this part of my life sorted. There's only so much prawn you can do and waste time with feminist women. Also, I was born in Eastern Europe, lived there until 10 before coming to America, so I know how life is on both sides. The issue is that if I choose to go there, I cannot bring her back, nor would it be wise. Basically, I have to surrender all my life here and live there. I could transition to remote work, but I worry I'll just get bored there in a year. The language is shit. I can only see. How is the language shit? Like if you grew up with it, how like you would have no opinion of your language. Well, it just is the language. Well, you have an opinion on a language. Like then you learned English. Like, oh, this is a better language than the one I was born with. I can only see the countryside so much. I'll get all the pussy, and then what? I don't know. Go to all the other countries that are nearby, except Ukraine and maybe Belarus. Life moves very slow there. In America, life moves fast. You can do anything if you choose to and reinvent yourself whenever. My friends tell me you're too young, you have time. Make money here until 40, then focus on that. I could not imagine keeping this misery going for another 15 years. What a waste of time. Well, choose your poison, buddy. You don't like it here? Fine. Go over there. Well, I don't like it there either. Well, where is it less painful? After all, money is not everything to me, and I'm willing to accept less. Despite the girls here being trash, I still think I can function better here in the United States, as I know the system being biased growing up here. Most importantly, not giving up English and Western income is huge. At the same time, I cannot go on living with the lube in my hand anymore. That is unacceptable. And for raising children one day, I think it's important to not have them in this degenerate society. I'll agree with you there. Living in a second world country poses greater barriers and adjustments. I'm sure you know what I mean. I think you mentioned living in Croatia one time. Curious about that. I've never been there. I randomly picked it because it's near the Adriatic. It looked like a nice place from the pictures. I don't really. I have to go to Croatia. Is it worth the change? I guess you can always come back if it's shit, and be back to lonely here. But what do you do once you're deep into a relationship and get bored with life there? Quit being a fucking pussy and go find something to do in life there. God, guys, I know your dads didn't raise you right, but oh my God, he did. You have to make what you got. So let's say you go to Poland. Your main complaint is that it's boring there. Is that correct? And that you'd be stuck there. Hang on. Poland's shape is roughly square, measuring 400 to 44 miles across. All right, so if you live dead center of Poland, the furthest geographic distance from any other country, it's a 2.5, 3 hour drive, a 200-mile drive to any other country. They got trains. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Europe is like the United States in that they have their own individual countries, but they're like states, right? We got the United States, they have actual countries. Well, it's kind of the same thing. I don't like living in Arkansas. Well, Jesus, Texas is right there. Is it the same with Poland? And admittedly, Poland's one of the bigger state or countries, but it's still half a day's drive to any other country. And if you live near a border, let me pull up Poland. Like, are you not allowed to go across the border? Hang on, let me see where Poland is. I know it's up on the Baltic. Okay, so you have the Baltics, you have Belarus, you have Ukraine, there's Slovenia, there's the Czech Republic, and you got Germany. me zoom out. Hungary is a short little jump across from Slovakia. You could go to Austria. If you take up, I'm sure there's some ferries that go to Denmark and Norway and Sweden. I will admit that the environment you're in does have an effect on you, but it is not 100% deterministic of the life you lead. That is at least half determined by you and what you're going to do. There's not mountains in Poland. There's not motorcycle riding in Poland. There's not things to do in Poland. You can't go fishing. Let me look at Poland. Hang on. Let me ask you this. What career aside, I will admit that, yeah, we're a little bit more aggressive in the United States. Learn English. We got a little bit more hustle. But are you happy living in the United States? It doesn't sound like it right now because of the dating environment. And I got to imagine the social environment is probably subpar of what you'd like anyway. So aren't you here in the United States kind of forced to, you're already jerking off, right? So you're on a one-man sport already. Are you in other capacities in regards in life? Are you also kind of like, not a recluse, but a solo guy? Do you go to parties every night? I presume not. So there's one-man activities, kind of solo activity. Whether you're doing it here in the United States, you go to Poland. Look at the highest mountain in Poland. 8,200. They got real mountains. Look at that. Risi. I don't know what mountain range that is. The Tatra Mountains. You could go skiing. You don't have to let Poland fully determine your enjoyment of life. The hell is that? Oh. I think whatever opinion you formed of Poland when you were 10 that it was boring, well, that's probably because you didn't have a driver's license, couldn't go anywhere. And here's the other thing. You're not going to know until you go. You're not happy here in the United States. It sounds like you want to have kids. Let's just look at some black and white facts that we already know. It is very statistically unlikely you're going to find a quality woman here to get married and have kids with, right? Very low. You also, like many other immigrants or children of immigrants, you have a cultural affiliation with your home country. You still go back there and visit family, which gives you an upside shot and potential with the women. Also, Poland being second world country, the women are a little bit more thankful and they're still pretty and they don't have their faces all tatted up or marred with metal junkets on their face. So you have a better chance of finding a wife or a marriage or love in Poland. You would then give up maybe a career. Maybe. Who says you can't work remotely? What if you got more hustle in Poland than the average Polish guy? You're bilingual, I presume. So is there any employment there that could help you out? Is there not a sector or an industry or a culture somewhere in Poland? It may not be the majority, but there's got to be a group, a network of hustlers and movers and shakers in Poland that work as hard as the Americans. I'm surprised that you're saying they don't work as much as America. I'm like, dude, the Americans work hard. Well, how lazy are they in Poland if you think Americans are working hard? Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear. I think you need to go to Poland and not just for family gatherings. I think you need to go there. Don't give up your career in the United States, but you got to do some expeditions into Poland. You got to go and find out not only are the girls nicer and all that. So, like, I don't know. I guess you can still use Tinder in foreign countries. Dating apps, I guess they still work over there. And by that I mean the women go on dates. Not the app works. I know that it works here too, but it doesn't get you dates here. You got to go over. It'll get you dates over there. So what I would do is start making some forays into Poland for weeks at a time. If you could swing it, if your employer will allow for it, and you're not going to visit family. I mean, crash with family, spend time with family a little bit, but your job is to go out and find fun things to do in Poland. Are there countries that are better? Not countries. Are there cities within Poland? Do you like Austria? Do you like the Czech Republic? Do you like Germany? Do you like the Baltic with cold I don't know what. Go and explore, reconnoiter Poland, and not just go from the airport to your family's place. Go and check it out. See if there's places out there. And then I think after spending some time visiting, like you get all of a sudden a month and of hardcore traveling, not okay, I go and stay at a hotel and I have coffee at the same place. No, you get out and drive around. Like, you should reconnoiter fully Poland. Do a ton of research online about Poland, where the places are where there's a little bit more social activity or work or you know, I'm just what is the working culture of Poland? Strong work ethic, dedication, emphasis on teamwork, debunking stereotypes. Poles are hardworking. The new guy at work is Polish. He's hardworking. Poles are hardworking or just born lazy. Polish forms. Do before you don't have all the vacation time in the world. So I would do a ton of research, talk to your family. Look, have you thought about talking to your family in Poland? Saying, hey, here's my concerns. Like, if I come over, like, where do you work hard? Where would I find this American work ethic in Poland? Like, which country is it? Is it the finance capital? Where is it? What do I do? They might have some insights more because they're living in the culture. But I think spending the time, do some research here in the United States, pick an area or a handful of area or towns, and just go there for at least a week and check it out. Explore everything. Drive around. Go check out those mountain ranges. See what's up there. Go to meetup groups. Find some people. I don't believe you're in this border, these lines on the ground that are imaginary. And if you're inside here, they're just a bunch of slow poke magos. We're just Poles, we do our Polish. I don't that and you have to become that. I think there is a group of people and a network and some place that you can find in Poland that wouldn't be boring and sucks. Those mountains look spectacular, by the way. I'd be like, hey, all right, here we go. And then that way it isn't, and it might take a year. It's going to take a year. You're traveling out there, so you spend a month total, and you'll have a much better idea whether or not you actually really do want to go to Poland. I'm kind of hoping that you go there, you're like, oh, there's this little part of Poland I never knew about. It a little bit more cosmopolitan, a little more shake and hustle. I can jump the border and go to Switzerland if I'd like, or some other country over there. And yeah, no, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But in other words, I don't think you've given Poland a chance. I think you go to plane, you go to your family, and that's it. Oh, now the internet is down. Do they have better internet in Poland? I hope so. We got to wait for it. We got to wait for the internet. Click here. There we go. It's back. All right, Christoph and on $5. I've made my money. I'm emigrating to Russia. The Russian economy is really taken off. Western sanctions are the best things that have happened. Boy, you may not be wrong. Once the United States says you can't use our system anymore, like, okay, we'll use our own. I guess we got to create our own now. And what? Sanctions won't matter, and we can do trades now with China and the Saudis and Middle East. We could, and the Indians. We could do all this. Exactly. What does America make again? Oh, you make shitty movies with girl power. Oh, yeah. Come in handy in World War III. Send Brie Larson and her two buddies to go with. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.